Okay, today we're working on the Portlights from the 78 Sabre Seattle Gray. These are the frames for the Portlights. This is half of one actually. So this is after taking off, or 5200, whatever it is, it was really on there. So I was able to scrape it off. It took me probably about 20 minutes to do this one, and then I had to clean it. So here's the complete one. I mean, these things are they're not brand new. Okay, so I'm working on getting the Portlights refurbished. I have 8 of these. I've already, with a screwdriver, I've already scraped out most of this sealant, 5200 or whatever they were using back in 1978, but there's still a lot on here. I have to get this perfectly clean. I have 8 of these to do, and it's one at a time. It's time consuming. I'd say anywhere from 30 to 50 minutes to clean one of these. Let's get started. Inside's good. Just have to check for sealant. Here's one right here. Let's see if I can pull it off in one piece. There we go. And then the other side. Got a little bit here. Luckily, this is silicone and it comes off relatively easy. Okay, I think I finally got it. Go. Everything is cleaned and sanded. I have it laid out here to put on the first coat of primer. These are the inside trim, which I just lightly sanded. They weren't too bad. These things were a monster. I'm so glad to be done with this. I hope I never have to do this again. All right, so now let's get on to the painting. I'll do a little time lapse. Okay, so the first coat of primer is on. It went on a little funky. It almost looked like it was going to sag a little bit here and there, but I think it's fine. Just absorbing the paint into the aluminum. So let this dry for about 15 minutes, and then I'll give it a second coat. Okay, so the first coat has had a chance to dry now. So let's hit it with another one. So I've gone ahead and made a bunch of these wire hangers out of coat hangers. So I'm going to go ahead and put these up. Real light coverage. I don't know if you can see that. If you can just focus. It's wet, but I don't see any sags. I'll give that 2 or 3 more coats and let these all tack off, and we'll be good to put the windows back together. Just in time for this cold weather. So this project's taken a lot longer than I thought it was going to take. It's definitely been several weeks. The weather just hasn't been cooperating, and I still have to work, which I love work, but I just want to get this job done. Now it's raining outside. It's about 40 degrees. Tomorrow it's going to dip down to the low 20s, and I won't be able to do any painting at that point. So hopefully these all tack off nicely, which they should, because they're looking good. And then over the weekend, Monday and Tuesday, I can start to put the Portlights together. I still do need to, there we go. I have this sheet behind the bicycle there, the Tuffek. I'm gonna cut, you can actually see where I made the lines to cut it on the bandsaw and the hand saw to just cut those windows out. I have one from before over here. Actually, I should have covered that. There might be a little bit of paint dust in there. I hope not. So I cut that one out, and I get 3 more out of that other sheet, and should be good to go. I have this gasket material, which I'm going to wrap around the window edges and then put them into the small channel. They're really tight, so I'm going to use a little lubricant to put them in. I already tried to do one. It was really tight, but I was doing a dry fit. If I just use some silicone spray or something like that, it should slide in nice and easily and nice and tight at the same time. All the edges rough cut, I can take a sander and get them nice and round. And we'll match them up against the old one to make sure that I don't screw it up. This is an oscillating sander. I'm going to start with 220 grit. And let's see how it goes. If I have to go to a little rougher, I will. But let's try with this first. Okay, it's doing a pretty good job. It's definitely still very uneven. This might not be the best choice. I'm going to try a regular vibrating sander. I tried this. It's a miniature belt sander. It works okay, but this is too narrow, the belt, so it's hard to really get this edge. If I had a larger one, it would probably work really well. So I'm relegated to using this guy. It works okay, but it doesn't really take these hard edges down. I'm going to go back to this and then go back to the other one. Once I get that edge down pretty close, it's not too bad. I just want to do it a little bit by hand here. Just to really smooth it out. And get it a nice rounded corner. I take a look at one of the old ones and compare it. The important thing is that they match up, which right now they don't. It looks like, if you look at this, there's a good solid 1/8 of an inch that still needs to come off. What I've settled on after going through 3 different types of sanders is my grinder. Now this thing is pretty heavy duty. It's too heavy duty for this, but if I'm careful I can get it nice and perfect because there's a lot actually to take off here. It has to go all the way down to this black line, which is quite a bit. So this seems to do the trick. I'm starting to get the hang of this. I'm on my 4th corner and finally I'm getting through it. So I have 3 more windows to do and I think I have nailed it. I hope my words don't come back and bite me in the butt. Let's go. Okay, we're looking good. So in the end, the battle between the 3 sanders and 1 grinder, the clear winner by a large margin was the grinder with its flappy disc 60 grit, blowing away the competition. There was really no contest, and I would never consider using these other pieces of equipment to do this job. It just wasn't even close. 6. The plastic for the Portlights are all cut out, smoothed edges, ready to go. Let's go upstairs and fit them in their frames. Here are the 4 frames unassembled. Let's put them back together.